know how to say thank you and wish someone good luck. That's amazing!
Worlds together.
Hi, I'm Ksenia and welcome to my Worlds Together. Here we talk about what life is like in different parts around the globe through the eyes of foreigners and those who were born there. Welcome to the new episode. Today we'll be talking about one of the republics in Russia. That's right, there are many different regions in Russia. Some of them have a special status and are called republics. They have their own constitution, their official language, and even their national anthem. Prepare yourself to learn about Chuvashia. My guest is a native to this land of more than 2,000 rivers, captivating nature and unique culture. Please welcome an IT specialist, a digital nomad, and a novice DJ. Dan.
Hi, thanks you for having me today.
Hi, Dan. Thrilled to have you on the show. What's the capital city of Chuvashia?
Chuvashia's capital city is Cheboksary, which is located on the north side of the republic, on the right bank of the Volga River. It's not a big city, but has about 500,000 citizens, I guess. And it's an old city that was founded in the 13th century. As a small settlement, and then in the 15th century, it was built in a big city, started developed quickly thanks to its location on the river trade road. Today it's a cultural, industrial, administrative, and trade center of the Chuvashian Republic.
Is this where you were born?
Actually not. Despite the fact that I grew up there, I was born in Naberezhny Chelny city. That it's in Tatarstan, because my parents were living there a few years in the 90s. But since I turned 1 year old, my parents moved back to Chuvashia in a small town, Novochebokssarsk, where my parents originally from. It's located close to Cheboksary, and so local people consider it as the same cities. But officially, it's a satellite town that was supposed to be an industrial center and was grown from a bunch of villages to a newborn city in the 60s.
So you were born in Tatarstan, right?
Yes, yes.
Is it far from Chuvashia?
No, actually not. It's the nearest another republic, let's say Tatar Republic. It's close to Chuvashia and they are neighbors. It's about 600 kilometers, I guess.
So, you were born in Naberezhny Chelny, then you moved to Novochebokssarsk, which is really close to Cheboksary, which is the capital city of Chuvashia, and this is where you grew up. What three words would you use to describe the city?
That's a very nice question. I think the first word will be the Cheboksary Bay, because it's one of the most most adorable and significant place among local people, and I personally love it too. I spend there so much time. You can see it on the most pictures of the city's panoramas, such as postcards and so on. And you can find it really stunning. Really, it's so beautiful. I guess the reason why local people love the bay is because it's concentrating so many historical and administrative buildings, squares, and so on. For instance, there is a magnificent monument which is called the Mother of Chuvashia. It's about 50 meters, I guess, and it's about 20 floor building, so it's quite high.
So you can
And
see it from each and every side of the city.
Not from each side because the city is located on the several hills, so you can see it from everywhere, but it's quite tall. Yes, from the city center, you can see it from almost any point. Yes. And a very interesting fact about the Cheboksary Bay that it before the middle of the 20th century, it was full of buildings, churches, and all the other classic buildings. But after the Cheboksary Dam was built in the 60s, 70s, unfortunately, all that place, the city center, was flooded. And now it's all underwater with all those buildings, churches, and so on. And today it's just Cheboksary Bay.
So what you are saying, there is a city underwater there.
Yes, yes. So let's say not ancient, but classic city center. There were a lot of buildings.
And they are still there underwater.
Yes, yes, really.
Astonishing.
Yes. Actually, I didn't know about that. I learned it just a few years ago when I went to our museum in the city center, and I saw the picture. There was a picture with a lot of beautiful buildings, and I asked someone who worked there, what's this? I can't recognize any place of our city, and they described me that. Yes, that's the city center, just or bay, and it was flooded. It was just underwater. Yes. Coming back to your question, the second thing that I would describe for our city, I guess, the traditional culture, because as you probably know, Chuvashia is very famous to its own culture, a language, right? Some traditions and so on. I strongly believe that it's an integral part of the city, really. You can see a lot of signs and details in architecture, monuments, names of streets, stores, and buildings, and others. Yes, and you asked me about three words. Yes, and the third word will be, I guess, Volga River. So that's very simple, but Volga River is also very important word, let's say, because it's a very big part of the city, and I think we can talk about its description, avoiding this part. Um, as you as you may know, since the beginning of the city's history, the river was a part of trade route, and even today, it's intertwined into the city's lifestyle. So a lot of people love this place. They spend a lot of time up there in the summertime, even in winter time. And I would say it's some sort of energy source of this place, and it gives so much energy back. And I think people really proud of it that they locate on this place.
Can you call it a power place, like a local power place?
Yes, of course, because there are so many activities, so many people hang out there. It's a very cool place, and I love visit this place every time I visit my hometown. I and my mom love take a walk there, and it's so beautiful. It's real nice.
Chuvash is one of the official languages in the Republic, along with Russian.
Yes, yes.
Do you speak the language?
Unfortunately, I can understand some simple phrases and some words and get some general meanings in sentences, but it's really hard to keep a conversation going for me.
Do you know any words in Chuvash?
Yes, of course. I know several words, let's say, and phrases.
Would you mind sharing with us?
Yes, a lot of people ask me about this just to share some simple words. I think you will find it very interesting. Okay, there's some simple phrase. For example, uh, um, for example, good morning will be Uragun Pulter, or good evening will be Urakash Pulter. So it means that good morning and good evening. You can try it also. For example, good morning, Urakun Polter.
Ira, can you say that
Ura,
again?
yes, Urakun Polter. Urakun Polter.
Ira kun polter.
Yes, but very softly because it's very soft
Oh,
language, one of the softest language in our country. I mean, in Russia. So that's why you can, make it soft, and that's very important. Another
oh,
another phrase.
that's really hard, you know. And I think I just embarrassed myself. I'm not sure that I said good morning, but I really hope I did.
Yes, I remember. Yeah, sorry. Yes, continue.
Go on.
Yes, I remember when I was a kid, we studied that language in the school from the first year to the ninth year, as I remember. And every morning we, let's say that Urukun pulled that to our teacher. That was, that was, I remember that part very well. Another word is Menle Purnash, which
What does
means
that
how.
mean?
Menle Purnash, it means how are you doing? How are you doing today? Yes, if
Okay,
you
and
want to say
if I'm doing great, what do you say?
liar or pidgelai, which means good or very good. So if anybody asks you like Menle Purnash, you can say liar, pidgelai. Yes,
Pity
that's very
liar.
simple. Liar, no, liar.
Pity
It's h
liar.
at the end. Yes,
Oh,
yes. If you want to Yes, if you want to say someone just like thank you, you can say taftapush. It's very common word, and you can hear it everywhere. Like taftapush is like thank you, or there is a short word of taftapush, tavetavach, also, but it's not common useless. I mean, it's not common using. And if you want to say like please, you should say tarhashan. So just put at the end of any sentence tarhashan. So it means please, like, and very common phrase also urasonata. It's very common using word. You can hear it just everywhere in the store, on the street. And, people like just, end any conversation saying like urasonata. Like it means I wish you good luck. So I wish you good luck. So that's the end of conversation.
how do you say that again?
Ira sunatap. Ira
I-
sunatap.
Ira
Ira
sunat.
ira
Ira?
sunatap.
Ira
Sunatap.
sunat.
Yes.
Amazing. So, you guys, I've just tried a completely new language and I've just said a few
You did it
phrases
really
in a.
well. You did it really well.
Thank you. Thank you. I know that I might have embarrassed myself, but honestly, I'm very proud of myself because until this day, I had never heard this language before, never in my life. And today, I didn't just hear it, but I also tried it myself. And now I know that if I travel to Chuvashia, I know how to say thank you and wish someone good luck. That's amazing.
Yes,
That's
local people
amazing.
will be really proud of you.
And I will be proud of myself, because, well, that's the most unusual language I've heard so far in my life. Really.
Mhm.
So you know a few phrases in the Chuvash language, but you might find it a bit hard to carry out a decent conversation in Chuvash. How about your family? Does anyone in your family speak it fluently?
Yes, of course. Actually, each member of my family can speak or at least understand Russian language. For example, my grandmother, she speaks Russian fluently. And even for her, this language more native than Russian. Because in the village, when she grew up, were living only local people, and they simply didn't use the Russian. Only after she started study at school and then moved to the capital, right? So she started speak Russian. So today she prefers to speak her native language, Russian, with people her age. But with me, she only speaks Russian because she knows that I would understand her. Yes. For my mom, for example, she spoke to Russian. She can understand, but she never spoke to Russian, at least in front of me. Uh, yes, so she just, but she can understand anything.
Mm. Is it possible to hear people speaking the Chuvash language while going down the street?
Yes, a lot. People actively use the language in everyday life, let's say, but it doesn't mean that they wouldn't understand you if you speak Russian. I think both of this language are native for local people, and they don't feel uncomfortable with switching it.
Well, for many listeners, hearing about Chuvashia is something completely new. I bet some of you haven't even heard about place before. Well, I can kinda relate to this because I know very little about Chuvashia, even though I would not have hard times finding it on the map. This makes it even more exciting to learn about the Republic's traditions and cultural events together with you. Can you tell us about a few traditions and holidays which are celebrated in the Republic?
Yes, of course. There are some special events and holidays. Just before our interview, just for me, I checked on the internet how many holidays there are, and I was surprised there are tens of them. Really, not just several. There are about 20 or even more. And unfortunately, I wasn't familiar with most of them, but I know a few of them, know it very well. For example, the most popular Chuvashian traditional holiday is called Agadui. And it's one of the most important Chuvashian holidays because it's celebrated in late spring or early summer to mark the end of the sowing season or sowing campaign, let's say. People gather for traditional music, dances, games, rituals, some sacrifices, and some nature spirits, and so on. I personally was at that holiday a few times. When I was a kid, my grandmother took me with her. Of course, there wasn't some sacrifices and nature, nature spirits, and so on. But there were a lot of dances, music, and games. So that holiday is very famous because it's games. And also there are some other holidays. For example, there is Sukhuri, which means Russian New Year. It's also celebrated somewhere in December and January, and it's similar to Winter Solstice Festival or something like that. And there is some other holidays, but I simply don't remember their names. But you can find a lot on the internet also.
So, in the Republic, people also celebrate their own New Year.
Actually, I knew about that holiday. At least I've heard of it, but I never saw how they celebrated this. Maybe somewhere they really celebrated it, but it's not famous.
Before I travel, I always Google local specials and I turn each and every vacation into a gastro adventure because it is the easiest way to indulge yourself in some local delicacies. Moreover, I'm a strong believer that trying local food is the straight way to the heart of a place's culture. Which brings me to my next question. What are some foods the Republic is known for?
Um, Actually, in our republic, there are a lot of uh, classic, traditional dishes, and it has its own cuisine, right? So Chuvashian cuisine. It has a lot of in common with Russian cuisine, of course, because it's very close, right? But I remember very well one of the dishes. It's called shurpe. Shurpe is a traditional meat soup, and it made with some lamb, beef, or chicken, and includes, of course, some root vegetables. And its features that it's not just meat, right? It's hearts or lungs, livers, and so on. And I remember my grandmother, she loves this soup and she cooked it a lot when I was a child. I personally didn't like it. Yes, just because I really, I didn't eat it, but my grandmother, she loves it very much. There are a lot of bakeries. I mean, some baked dishes. Or example, there is Chuvashian version of dumplings, and it's
Mm.
called Huran Kukli. Yes, Huran Kukli. It's a mm, in from Chuvashian language, the meaning is chicken dumplings. So just the traditional dumplings with some chicken meat inside. And I remember I tried once, and that's real nice, very very tasty. If you go to Chuvashia, you should try this. And also, I remember there is another dish is called huplu. It's like a pie, a traditional Chuvashian pie or pastry filled with meat, potatoes, and other savory ingredients. I haven't tried it. Don't ask me how it tastes, but sounds very nice, and I guess it's very cool.
Everything that you've just told us uh, sounds delicious, like finger licking, right? And when I was listening to you, my mouth was literally watering, because all of these things sound so delicious. And as a tourist, where can I try some authentic Chuvash cuisine? Can you recommend any places in the capital city where I can go and enjoy all of these delicacies?
Yes, fortunately, there just I think 1 year ago opened a new restaurant on Cheboksary Bay in the city center, and it's called Tutla. In Chuvashian language, it has some meanings, but actually I don't know what it is. So it's very famous because it has only Chuvashian cuisine. There are a lot of dishes in Chuvashian. It's from classic traditions, and so on. I've been that place last summer, and I tried some pie, as I remember, and some other dish, but I don't remember what it's called, to be honest. Very nice place. So it's modern, and it's famous. They pay a lot of attention to how to attract people. They use social media to to say that, so their new restaurant, and you can find a lot of traditional stuff up there. So very nice place. You should visit it. Everybody should visit this.
What's the name of the place again?
Tutla.
Tutla.
Tutla. Yes. There is only one place like this.
Okay, everyone, you heard that. That's where you go to try some authentic Chuvashian food if you are traveling there. That's the place you go. Tutla. Okay?
Yes.
Alrighty, great. Honestly, I have another 1,000 of questions approximately to ask you about your home region, and I wish I could keep you here forever. Well, jokes aside, I just have one last important question to ask you. What are some of the weirdest questions that people have asked you when you told them where you come from?
Um, Actually, only one weirdest question is where the Chuvashia is on the map. So that's really funny because most of the people who heard that I'm from Chuvashia, right? So the first question, most of them, so is it a part of Russia? Is it really located somewhere in the western side of Russia? Some people strongly believe that it's somewhere, near Mongolia or even beyond this. And they are really surprised that it's really close to the capital of Russia, Moscow. And it's not so far away as they think, let's say. Yes, but absolutely okay when people ask about this, just because that's okay. That's not weird for me.
Well, thanks for your time. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Yes, thanks to you. That was really nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's the end of the episode. Thank you very much for listening. This show is inspired by English learners. In the description, you will find the link to download a PDF with some of the interesting language that we used on the show today. There you will find some little examples and definitions. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.